You're worried about making the wrong decision. It's the thought of the wasted time, energy, and money to go down those routes and to find out it wasn't going to work. Now, overthinking makes you feel worse and you still do nothing. So what can we do? We can use a solution which I like to call life experiments. Experimentation, action, and clarity break the paralysis of overthinking. Now, this is a concept that has been so helpful, well, one, to me, but more importantly, to all of the clients I've worked with. It has been the game changer. And it is a low-risk way to explore breaking free from being stuck. And it starts the momentum, which will really help you. The power of life experiments. It allows you to move quickly. Does your idea have a viable future? Can a side hustle earn an income? Find out if you actually like something. Do I actually like writing? It allows you to make informed decisions based on real experiences, like taking photos. But you don't like editing so much. It's an antidote to overthinking. It avoids the thinking trap. And it allows you to test ideas safely. Experiments get you into action, which give you clarity. The process. So, I don't want to get too complicated here, but I'll try and keep it fairly simple. The idea is you want to identify the possibilities, these paths that you could go down. Could I be good at public speaking? Then you design life experiments. You think about what could you put in place. Could you take some courses, join Toastmasters, do some training? Then you refine the experiments over time. So if things start to work and you like the idea of it, can you do some advanced training? Can you sign up to speak at an event? Going back to the first point, if we think about identifying possibilities, we can start slowly fleshing this out into an established process. You want to start brainstorming potential interests or paths that you could go down. Tap into what excites or intrigues you. Now, hopefully you will have done that from the values course we did earlier. Number 3, explore low-risk ways to test the ideas out. Yeah, we'll start there and we'll develop on this. So here are some of the classic and common examples. Think about what's something that scares you but excites you at the same time. That is a good signal for something that could be a good life experiment. So we'll just come back to Jodie. So we went from this to this. Now, you might want to pause this. I won't stay on this for too long. She had a dream of being able to go out into the wilderness and do this. And here are all of the things that she learned over this period of time. It was absolutely incredible seeing this change from someone who was so scared for over 15 years. We'll dive into her story a bit in a bit. Now, there's probably something that you're wondering. How? Interactive exercise. Idea possibilities for you. What have you been curious about? Think of 3 to 5 things you've always been curious about but never explored. Think about that. There's so many things that I have always been interested in and wanted to explore. You know, one of them is trying to speak on camera. Right? I've always wanted that. And if you watch my previous course, I talked about wanting to do this since 2005, 2006 when I started my YouTube channel and didn't post anything until 2019. Right? 14 years. Dancing was a big one for me, and it ended up being that became part of my lifestyle. I never thought I could dance. Then I ended up getting into breakdancing. Now, don't worry if you can't think of any right now. List them after. Next, we can look at how to explore these curiosities. Now, just to remind you, for a bit of comfort, I'm going through this as training. We will go through your exercises and drills later. There will be templates all ready to help you work through this. Creating mini adventures. So we can take a lot of the fear and the anxiety around by turning this into the idea of creating these little mini adventures that are safe to explore. We want to design them. Now we can lay down a bit of a process here. We start looking at ways to explore some of your curiosities. Example, painting. I've always been curious about painting but never tried it seriously. I'll buy some basic supplies and commit to starting. Maybe take some courses, a beginner's course. And maybe I'll aim for painting one tiny canvas each week for the next month. I've actually just started this on the iPad. At the end, I'll see how I feel about it. Now, so this little experiment, this is like a mini adventure for a month. Very, very low stakes. We're not trying to necessarily change career to become a painter overnight and set these big lofty goals about a future career in painting. We just set a mini adventure out to see how we gel with it. So even if your path feels vague, just write them down. You will find they evolve, and this is a skill set. You will get better at it. Mapping your journeys. Okay, so we need to create multiple potential paths with different timelines. The idea here is you want to flex this skill. You want to get good at creating these kind of splintered paths of your life. So think of new hobbies, new skills, and small lifestyle changes you might be interested in. Consider how you could test these possibilities on a really, really small scale. Now, there are so many examples, but this is something I get clients to get involved with as soon as they possibly can. It's so important to get these moving quickly. If you're curious about writing, you could commit to writing a blog post each week. Now, you don't even have to post it. You just need to write it and just practice writing it in a Word document. This is something, this is actually quite a common request when I'm working with clients. They want to start posting some of their ideas, and we will just start. Quite a few years ago, there was a client I worked with, and she wanted to start writing. And I remember I just set up a blog recently for myself. So it was very fresh on my mind. And so what we did is on the call, we actually set up her own little blog, a little micro blog. And then I helped her type some of her first ideas out. And then we published it. And it was so much fun. And she was quite nervous, but we moved it so quickly. And then we found that she took a real liking to it. And we worked it up from there. So at this stage, you are building your ideation skills. So don't worry about committing, right? Don't worry about this. It's just testing these ideas. Now, again, don't worry about this even. After this training, I'll be going through lots of templates and easy to fill in worksheets.